Hello and welcome back to the Great Patriotic War. This is the end of turn 17 and the start of turn 18, diving in deeper into October. So without further ado, we're going to get right into kicking off the end turn button. And before I do that, I will turn off logistics indicator. I think I will leave everything else how it is. I do have 2 APs left over. I was considering no, I think I'll leave it how it is. I was considering building a fortified region in around here or something like that. But a lot of these places are pretty forted up already. I mean, I could do one here. I mean, some of these are getting there. That one's Fort 3. Got a Fort 0 there, but that was a pretty new one. This is a Fort 2. Fort 3. So, I mean, we are getting quite a bit of fortification level. We could fortify the other side of the river, although I don't really think we necessarily need to. I don't think they can break through this with a 4. And these guys are only putting up a 2. How's the 22nd Army fixed for? Fortunately, this guy's kind of a doofus. But how are they fixed for supply? They don't have any support units. All right. Yeah, let's give them a little something. I really don't like to put in those almost depleted support lines, but I think we kind of need to at this point. They've got plenty. Perkiv is he's pretty good. 28th Army is one of my favorites in this campaign. All right, ending the turn. So we did have 2 points left over, but I want to save them anyway. In this campaign, I still haven't even set an assault front, so I really want to do that at some point. Although it is a little bit, it's getting a little bit late to do that. Not too late though. I wish I had done it earlier. All right, let's see what happens here. And this is kind of the beginning of the Rasputitsa. So I don't know how much the Germans are going to be able to advance. Probably not that much. I grounded all my air this turn, so there's not going to be a big air battle or anything like that. Seems like they're just hitting the areas where I was expecting them to hit. But my guys are holding. These are some... I mean, getting knocked back there is not the end of the world. We can bring in someone else. That was a big attack. Another... And they sent a lot against my Guards Rifle Corps. Or Guards Rifle Division, I should say. We don't have Guards Rifle Corps quite yet. We're getting there. Hopefully. But I mean, if they don't break my lines soon... Oh, shit. Okay. This might be a problem, actually. It looks like they managed to get up and around me. Okay. Yeah, that's not great. I mean, that was always going to happen, but the timing is not great. What we were trying to do is buy a little bit more time for some more fortification levels to build up in Crimea. All right, let's check out exactly how disastrous this is. It's not too bad. I don't know what's here though. It's a little disturbing. All right, we got 2 incidents. One is just partisans getting activated. The other is the Kearny incident. On October 17, 1941, American destroyer USS Kearny is torpedoed and damaged by U-568 near Iceland, killing 11 sailors. They're the first American casualties of World War II. In October, while the U.S. was still neutral in World War II, the Kearny was docked at Reykjavik in U.S.-occupied Iceland. A U-boat Wolfpack attacked a nearby convoy and overwhelmed its Canadian escorts. So the Kearny and 3 other U.S. destroyers were summoned to assist. Immediately upon reaching the action, Kearny dropped depth charges on the U-boats and continued to barrage them throughout the night. This action was specifically cited as a provocation in Hitler's declaration of war on the United States 2 months later. At the beginning of the mid-watch on October 17th, a torpedo was fired by U-568, and it struck the Kearny on the starboard side. The forward fire room and engine room were flooded, but power from the aft engine and fire room enabled the destroyer to escape the battle and return to Iceland for temporary repairs. 11 men were killed and 22 were wounded. The survival of the Kearny led to renewed support to split fire rooms and engine rooms in naval vessels. This is a picture of the Kearny alongside the Monson in the harbor of Reykjavik. Apparently you can see the hole in the side, which is right there. Very difficult to see at this resolution, but yeah, big ass hole in the side of the boat. Didn't sink though. We knew how to build them back then, and it's hard to sink ships. Even in World War II, it was not that easy. I think people get a false impression sometimes that sinking a ship is very simple, but even back then, it's kind of hard to do. I mean, look at some of the ships that have taken huge missile hits in the Red Sea. Not a single one has been sunk yet, so it's not that easy. I'm just going to try to refamiliarize myself with the overall situation before I'd make any moves. And I'm probably not going to make too many moves since it looks like it is absolutely pouring. So essentially what's happening is we've been fighting over this little spit of land here. They'll hit it with several divisions and then I'll reoccupy it. They'll hit it again, I'll reoccupy it. So we've been going back and forth in this one spot for quite some time at this point. And I'm fine with that because it's draining manpower from them. What I'm not too hot with is the absolutely terrible performance of Govarov here. So I'm wondering, do I need to replace Govarov? Which I believe he's the 13th Army Commander. He's got a 5. He's got good ratings. I don't know why his... I mean, I guess maybe it's just command range. That's the issue, because it is almost at his max range. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, really. 4. So he's 4 away. I don't know. I don't know why he's doing so badly in this. Maybe that's just really shitty luck. I don't know. It feels like he went down way further than I expected. So like the unadjusted value is so high, and then it gets adjusted down to a 6. And I just don't understand why it adjusts down so much. Because this should have been an easy win. An easy win. And he couldn't win. So I don't get that. Oh, I'm sorry. He did win the first one. He did not win the second one. The second one, they hit us with a little bit more, I think. So they hit us with 12 unadjusted, and it got bumped up to a 23. Initially, they hit us with only 11. Okay, so that tactically that just makes sense. I guess they used their better commander, Reinhard. I'd say better, but I think the first one was Geyer. I don't know. I think Geyer's okay. I don't really know too much about him. But I know Reinhardt's pretty good. And the second attack, they actually used some air support and lost one for free. They also lost a tank. What tank did they lose? Just a Panzer II. Who gives a shit? It says they also lost a Panzer IIIJ, but they only have one loss of tank. It's weird. Yeah, their losses were pretty light. As opposed to my losses, which were not light. Where did they end up? That was the 50th Rifle Division, right? Yeah. So they got pushed all the way the hell back here. They're going to need a few turns to refit. They're pretty messed up. That's too bad. These guys are up to a 56 now, so they'll probably go in to that slot. And we'll just keep cycling. Unless I want to put these guys in there. They're at a 50. Yeah, maybe that's what I do. Okay. I think I have more or less a plan. Maybe I need to turn on my air support this turn, even though there's some rain happening. Let's check our ground support directives. So currently they're just supporting the 11th Army. I want to pause that. I'm going to tell them to support the 13th Army instead. And we want to use the 12th BAD and the 43rd IAD. And 12th BAD, where the hell is it? Oh, there it is, way at the top. And we're going to change this to be fly weather any. That way they'll have a little bit of support, just in case the enemy decides to hit us again in the same spot. They will now be fine. Where else was I hit around here? I think that was all they tried. Yeah, looks like that was the only one they tried up there. Now down here, we've been trading this back and forth for a while. But I've just been like throwing weak brigades and stuff there. They haven't been able to cross the river so far. But it looks like they do have an infantry division there, so that's not great. But we can at least wear them down. just standing on the other side of the river. That's fine. As long as we don't let them cross for free right there, that's the key. So it seems like the main area of concern is this incursion here. Which it would be great if I had some reinforcements to commit to it. I just don't have anything available. What is this? Oh, it's a rifle division. So I could rail this bad boy up to that front. Actually, I was much more worried about this attack on this river line, but nothing really happened here. Because this is going to be hard to throw back. They've got a lot of divisions here. All of a sudden. If only I had a cavalry division that was relatively good, I would try to sneak them around. What do I have for air in this area? Nothing. It's in the 20th SAD. Maybe I'll use the 20th SAD on a little bombing mission. Because if I could bomb this hex here, I could potentially knock out a lot of air. Like if I just bomb the rail right there. Because that will knock out the double rail here and here. And then if I could do another airstrike, maybe with long range air command on like this hex, on the single rail there, that would cause them a lot of problems. I think that's what I'll try to do. It's going to take some losses, but that's okay. I'm going to bring in extra planes next turn to Mariupol. And hopefully that helps. I'll bring them in this turn into Rostov. This is going to be some bombers. We're going to give them to Southern Air Command, 20th SAD. There we go. Why does it say it's North Caucasus Air Command? There we go. Okay, and then these guys, I'm going to assign them. So we'll put them on day and night. We're going to have them do ground attack. Where was the hex that I wanted to target? This one, right? We want railway to be our target. We'll run quite a few strikes to get this done. Try like 5 strikes a day. Yeah. I want it done. I want it blown up at the cost of this unit if necessary. This is also going to be all conditions, high intensity, very high priority. Okay, we don't care about rail yard, just railway. We just want to damage the railway. Okay, who is on this ground support mission? Okay, looks like they will actually be flying because the weather is fine. So I'm just going to let them do their thing. Unfortunately, I don't have reserves available here. That's really the big issue. All right. Long Range Air Command, you have a mission that I want you to do, and that is to where are they ground attacking? Let's not do that. Let's definitely not do that. I don't even know if this rail is repaired yet, so I don't want to really attack that. I want to attack something further back. I feel like this would be a good target. They should be able to do that pretty easily. All right, elsewhere I think we're okay. So let's fly our limited sorties that we have. And we're going to lose a lot of planes from this, but that's okay. Looks like we did good work there. And as for the Long Range Air Command, wherever the hell they are, there we go. They did not fly. Why not? What the deal? All right, whatever. Classic. All right. Okay, so first things first, let's scout out whatever the hell this is. Infantry division, maybe? Let's see, we have the 18th Army here. And that unit is now isolated. I don't really understand this the plan that they have here. But I do know that I want to bring in some reinforcements into this area. So let's see what we have available. Airborne Brigade. If we want something that's got a little bit of punch to it here. So 1 rifle division. Could bring in a division. A division and a tank brigade, actually. I'm just kind of saving the tank brigades for later. But let's have you come in. Shit, before I do that, I gotta reset the... I probably can't bring him that far forward. How about here? Yeah. Bring them onto the map. Maybe got a lot of rifle divisions starting to be ready. Bring in a cavalry division too. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, so 2 divisions shoring up this area here will definitely help. So now this thing is, I think, putting up a 6, right? 6. Do we scout it with this guy? I think we should. Okay, so it is a full infantry division, putting up a 6. I don't think we can kill it. All right, so that's, and we're gonna hasty attack it because, oh man, really needs more punch. Or is it a 6? This is just 1-to-1. To get to 2-to-1, I have to deliberate attack. And I don't have anyone else I can bring up to attack with. Well, we might as well wear him down, I guess. Okay. That was pretty amazing. That's huge. Why did that go so well? Wow, they went from a 39 to a 5. Okay, so they're isolated. They got scouted, and then I popped them with a deliberate attack. That is my biggest win of the entire war so far. Holy shit. Wow. Okay. Yakov Smirnov here. They named the vodka after this guy. God damn. Whipped the shit out of that division. That's awesome. That's so cool. That thing is obliterated. Oh man. That is huge. That's legitimately the biggest win of the war so far. And honestly, with that win, I think we're going to call it there for the night. This was meant to just be a quickie episode just to get me back on course on posting anything. But I think with that, we have now stabilized this front down here because we'll have two divisions coming in to help it. We've got a pretty decent back line here. It's still, they could be forwarded up a little bit more. It could definitely be better, but they ain't breaking through this. These Romanian guys are going to run out of gas trying to get through this line, so they're not breaking through that. One thing I could do is I could reinforce the Guards Rifle Division with a bit of a cavalry division. I'm not going to send this rifle division because it's too fresh. It hasn't done anything yet. I could send this mechanized division up. That could actually stabilize things. Alternatively, I could let the Guards boys get hit again. I really want to get them off the line at this point because they've been fighting hard and doing incredible work. I mean, killing 3,000 guys out of that huge Contanescu collapse corps. The 11th, well, there's a little bit of everything. It's like practically an army here in terms of Romanians. I mean, so like an entire Romanian army attacked us, and we held it off with one single division. That's how good they are at this point in the war. But I would love it if this guy would somehow improve. I don't understand why he's doing as well as he had. He's just been in really good, favorable situations. I mean, for the RPG element in me wants to keep him in command because he's been winning, right? Like, why would I not keep him in command? But the gamer in me is saying I should replace him soon because he's got bad stats. So I'll leave him in there for now, but he's so bad. He's so bad. I mean, if Remezov is better than you, then you know you got issues. And the front commander's not that great either. If anything, maybe I should replace the front commander because he is dog. I kind of want to give front command to someone who's good. Who's our other marshals that we have available? Fortunately, we have Budyani as an army commander because we really needed him. But we have Kulik, who is not a good marshal. I don't know. We don't have a lot of options for front commanders at this part of the war. A lot of guys still need to get promoted to be able to be marshals. Not marshals, front commanders. So we don't have a lot of options when it comes to those. Even though I'd love to replace him, having him down here at least is the least bad place for him. I have my better front commanders in the more important areas. Like especially the Western Front has a good commander, which of course is pretty critical for my plans over the winter because that's where Timoshenko is. And I've been really happy with the performance of Kuznetsov on the Northwestern Front, all things considered. He's been pretty good. Like, yes, they've suffered a lot, but he's also been fighting a lot of battles. So the Northwestern Front has really held the line incredibly well overall. We've not allowed the Germans to get all the way up to Leningrad. Early in the war, it was kind of a disaster, but we're starting to stabilize now. The Leningrad front has been pretty solid the whole time. That's where Popov is. And Popov has been pretty solid. Haven't had any complaints with him. Then for our other front commanders, we have the Bryansk front has Eremenko. Eremenko's really good. He eventually, obviously, famous for Stalingrad. But at this point, on the Bryansk front, he has been doing... He's relatively new to it, but I think he's going to be really good once the Bryansk front gets a little bit more engaged in this upcoming Battle of Kursk, which looks like might take until 1942 to kick off in earnest. But I intend to actually fight a battle for Kursk. I'm not going to let it slide with a retreat. I am going to try to fight that out. So we are going to have a first Battle of Kursk. And we're definitely going to have a battle for Kharkov if it comes to that, because we have committed a lot of our building points on improving the airfields of Kharkov. So we want to try to defend Kharkov if possible. In fact, we're probably going to want to start building up some fortified regions around it, like a little ring of fortified regions, just as a backup. But ultimately, Kharkov is hard to hold. It's easier to hold along the Donets River. So it's almost, that's kind of your jumping off point for a counterattack in the winter offensive if they get up there. But I don't think they're definitely going to get there. We've been able to hold the line pretty good so far in October. That leaves about a month once the weather clears where the Operation Typhoon can take place. And right now it does look like they have their Panzer, at least the Panzer Corps, concentrated in the Kursk area, kind of probing still. Like I said, we've just been trading back and forth a little bit here. Not a big threat yet. I think they found out the hard way that I'm willing to just pour in reinforcements into this region, and I did. So they've kind of backed off from that, and now they have a huge force trying to poke over the river here. I don't know what to do about this because I just can't bring in enough forces without losing something off of one of my other fronts. But maybe the 40th Army tries to make their comeback of the year over here. I'm not sure. That's definitely one option. But I mean, overall, the situation on the front is not bad. It really is not. It could be a lot worse. We've got a very stable northern area. Got a really good army down here. Good two armies at this point. 28th and the 22nd Army are both relatively well. I should say that, but he's actually supply priority 1. The Kalinin front finally got named instead of being called the reserve front. But 28th Army has done really incredible work. It's just been kind of the linchpin to the Northwestern Front. And then the reserve front really hasn't been tested at all, except We tried a little offensive play against the regiment and got blown up, so that was pretty sad. And then the Western Front, again, hasn't really been tested since Smolensk fell. After Smolensk fell, they were kind of like willing to chill, and it hasn't seemed to really come under attack again, although it easily could. It seems like the AI is really spreading out regiments along the line. And that's good for us because in a counterattack situation, we can definitely do some damage with that setup. What I really want to start preparing is a place for our counterattack. So where do I position my tanks so that we can actually do some damage here? I don't have that many tanks overall. I don't think there's much we can do in the north. I don't know about the Smolensk area. This is good tank country right here. If we could catch them off guard. But they are pretty strong. So we're going to need a lot of tanks to do that. A lot of tanks that we don't necessarily have. But I am thinking that that might be the area we attack. Alternatively, we could bring in a shitload of tanks down here. We just don't have the leadership down here. So we have the leadership further north, where the leaders are good. But we don't have the force ratios that I would prefer. Alternatively, we could have a Kursk battle. Try to push it all the way back to this river line. Would that be straighter? It would be straighter for us. So that's one idea. We could turn this into a bit of a salient. And then try to pinch it off in early 42. That's definitely an option. So if we wanted to do something like that, we would have to really focus on drawing their forces away from that area. So like some sort of fake offensive in the north, which is, that'd probably be doable. I mean, we could probably just walk up to this next river line. Just bring in a couple of reserve divisions and just walk up to it. Freak them out a little bit. Might even be able to walk all the way up to their rail lines, depending. I don't really know what's in this Veliky Luki area. We could maybe fly a couple of recon missions and find out what's in this area here. But anywhere where you could pinch off some rail lines and force them to have to do some repairs, maybe reassign units, that would be really good. Could also try a Baltic expedition, because they never really fully conquered the Baltics. I don't know. We got a lot of options, but we can only do one. You know, we don't want to repeat the mistakes of the real Soviets where we try to do too much. And honestly, I'm thinking that a better focus is probably going to be to just try to destroy divisions. It doesn't even really matter where we do it. Just try to make little encirclements. Catch one division off guard and just completely destroy it. Just to maximize losses wherever we can. As every division we can knock off the field is a division we don't have to fight later. We have already inflicted 415,000 casualties on the Axis. We have lost 1.7 million men, as well as almost 30,000 guns and 11,000 tanks. They have lost almost 1,500 tanks and only 3,000 guns. So we really need to start cranking up those loss numbers on the armored fighting vehicles and guns. So that means our prime targets are panzer divisions, SS divisions, anything that has a lot of stuff. That's what we want to try to get killed. if possible. So that's kind of where our efforts are going to lie. Like I said, we're going to call it for the night on the win. Till next time, see ya.